team of SWAT officers broke down the door to the thug's house, but their goal wasn't to arrest him. They needed his help with something.
Here's what you will do. Pick up the pistol. Do it.
The thug was confused, but faced with armed SWAT officers, he had no choice but to cooperate, but he never expected what would happen next.
Alright, good man. Point it toward the ceiling. Yeah. Bring the muzzle down slowly in my direction. Thank you.
The reason he ended up in this situation was because he messed with someone he never should have. Just a few days earlier, John, known as the underground mayor of Kingston, received a job. A woman handed John a treasure map and said that as long as he could help her retrieve the treasure, she would be willing to give him half of it as a reward for his trouble. Faced with such an easy money deal, John naturally didn't refuse, but what he didn't know was, he would lose his life because of it. After the job was done, the woman walked out of the office looking completely relaxed, but what she didn't know was, a small-time thug had already set his sights on her. That night, John's younger brother brought his men to the location marked on the map. Following the instructions on the map, they quickly found the treasure under a large stone. Inside was an entire bag full of cash. They quickly took the money back to John's office. Meanwhile, the thug had followed the woman and sneaked into her house. He subdued her quickly, then he began ransacking her house. Soon, he found a map, recalling what the mayor's secretary had photocopied earlier that day. He instantly realized that this map must be hiding something important. With that in mind, he immediately headed for John's office. On the other side, after getting word from Jack, John decided to move the money out of town that night to avoid complications. But as soon as he stepped through the door, he was taken hostage by the thug. The thug demanded to know what the map was really hiding. John answered truthfully, it was $200,000 in cash.
Where is it? Well, it should be in the safe.
You're being pretty agreeable.
Well, I wouldn't die protecting my own money. I'm sure as hell not gonna die protecting someone else's.
He then obediently opened the safe for him. John thought the thug would just take the money and leave, but instead, the thug chose to silence him permanently. And just like that, the powerful underground mayor met his end in a gutter. When John's brother Jack arrived, he could no longer contain his rage. He swore to himself he would find the killer and avenge his brother. Soon, thanks to the police investigation, they quickly locked onto the suspect. A large team of SWAT officers surrounded the place. Jack warned the officers on the scene that if the killer walked out alive, he'd make sure every last one of them lost their jobs. Meanwhile, the thug had no idea what was coming. He was lounging on the couch, dreaming about how he would spend the money. The next second, a flood of SWAT officers burst through the door. The thug immediately gave up without a fight, but this made things difficult for the SWAT commander. Left with no choice, the commander resorted to an old trick.
Here's what you will do. Pick up the pistol. Not by the barrel, by the handle. You've seen too many movies, Alberto. Alright, good man. Point it toward the ceiling. Yeah. Bring the muzzle down slowly in my direction.